Okay, hello and welcome back to the channel. It's just going to be a little bit of a quick and dirty video this evening because I've been spending all of my video creation time, as it were, and then some on getting the second part of Fruit Machine emulation history all finished off. It researched, recorded, annotated, all that kind of stuff. It's taken an awful lot of time, hence the kind of Fruit Machine emulation content has been a little bit thin on the ground recently. I do think I'm there now. I think it's all finished. That's ready to be rendered out and uploaded, and I'm hoping to have it online this Friday. I've just realised that's a very bad way of announcing something, isn't it? When, if you're watching this video any time other than before this Friday, that will make no sense. So it's going to be online Friday the 9th of March 2018 is my hope. So it's not going to be anything too involved tonight. It's just going to be one of the quicker Bandicam jobs because the edited together videos take a lot longer to do. Like the Frenzy one, the Frenzy Psycho Cache Beats, where I did the wandering around the hotel site and the little spin around on Google Maps. Anything that involves any kind of editing takes a substantially longer amount of time to do. And when you're into a kind of video that requires research, as well as the Fruit Machine Emulation History Part 2 has taken, then you're into it taking, that has taken, I would say, 15-20 hours to get that one to where it is now. Not that I mind spending the time, but it does eat into the amount of time that I have to spend making other videos. So it's going to be a fairly shortish one tonight, nothing too complicated, but it is one that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it following on from the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull video. The Crystal Skull video, if you remember that one, where that machine was in a very, very good mood. I'd used autoplay to lump a load of cache through it, and it was ready to do back-to-back 105s, which I don't think I ever had myself out in the wild. Remember, a 105 followed by a 70 climb, maybe, something like that. But there were some comments on that video, and thank you, by the way, for everyone who comments on the videos. I do read them all, and I try and reply to all comments that seem to, warrant a reply or need a reply or ask her a question. I always do try and reply, even if it does take me, I do apologise, it does take me a few days to get round to it. But a couple of people did comment on there that Indiana Jones could do back-to-back 105s, which appeared to be a facet of the fact that it was capped at 105. So it to kind of make percentage, it just had to climb out, do a 105, and then climb out and do a 105 again, which does make sense because there were quite a few reds that had sort of native, if you will, 210, certainly like Devil of a Deal, that could just do a straight 210 pound top. Had it, certainly once had it myself, and that's quite something, getting a 210 pound streak out of a 70 pound jackpot Fruit Machine. Now I think, well, we're just into club machine territory, aren't we now? This is just a club machine that happens to be in a pub. Anyway, the machine that I'm going to be playing for this video is Show Me the Mummy on the right hand side here. Top Geezer is just here to look pretty because I think it does look pretty. Both of these layouts are by Tommy C, so thank you to Tommy C for these layouts. They're splendid, and I do keep forgetting, I think on some of these videos I'm forgetting to give a shout out to the layout creator, so I'm going to try and rectify that, so thanks to Tommy for these layouts. Now, on the right hand side here we've got Show Me the Mummy. This is on a £35 jackpot, it's not on a £70 jackpot. And I haven't done anything, there's been no funny buggers with it. All I've done is gone round and forced it out a few times. And on the last force, I think it kind of went up to the top a little bit quicker than I was expecting. So what I'm hoping here is to demonstrate what happened when these things were in a really bad mood. When, and if they were being forced round all the time, sometimes you could get a surprising amount of cash into these things, even on the £35 jackpot. Having said that, they did always go in eventually. So once you were kind of, you just force them whatever state they were in, because I mean, it's possible, I'm sure I didn't know everything about them, but my experience with them was that it was hard to tell sometimes how far away they were from going in. I mean, people who say, oh, it's how many features are going red, but they could just turn from one board to the next. They could go from nearly all blues to nearly all reds. Maybe they had to do something consistently or something like that. I don't know, but in my experience, once I was 20, 30, 40 quid in, you're going to see it out. They will always cave eventually. They will never go, you know, even like a £70 Indiana Jones, it would, oh yeah, I think the worst I ever had was perhaps 120 in for a 70 back. So once you're 50, 60 quid into a machine, you're just going to see it out. There's no reason not to, and they could kick back a chunk once they finally went in. Now, the problem with Show Me the Mummy, I think, is that it was one of the sort of dirty reds. There were good reds and bad reds, or dirty reds, if you will. And the dirty ones were the ones that loved to force prizes on you. Now, Indiana Jones here, I would say, in my experience, was one of the good reds because it basically couldn't force a prize on you. It did have this little matrix here which would fill in the lines and add to this cash bank up here, and it could get up to quite a few quid, but once you lost a high-low gamble and it tried to give you that, as long as you remembered and were quick enough and just pressed double or quits, you could just double or quits until it went down to quits. So that was 0. It was no forced win. And of course, when you are trying to force, a forced win is the absolute last thing that you want. And this machine here effectively had no way to put one on you. Now, this one here, Show Me the Mummy, loves to do it. It's awful, and it does it with this inverted commas bonus here, open tomb. Once it gives you open tomb, you'll start on that £1 square there when it's blue, and then every high-low gamble will move you around this board. Once you've landed on a value once, it changes to the red value so you can land back on it. And once the tomb is opened, effectively, unless you climb right out to the top or collect something, and of course you're never going to collect something because you're forcing it, once the tomb is opened, you effectively have a collect prize that you cannot get away from, and it really, really loves to use it. Another one that loved to do it was a machine called DEGSY'S. It was another red from the £70 era, very similar to Indiana Jones. You kind of think it was sort of the same thing, but oh my god, that loved to safe cash you, and there was no way to get away from it, and it would just do it all the time. So DEGSY'S and Show Me the Mummy conceptually, I say you would play. I'm not pretending I knew everything about these things, but the way to go with these ones, that the dirty reds that love to collect prize you, was you would just get it so that you were getting wins at like 15 quid. So you'd just get it 15 quid nudge happy, the blue sevens, and then you only had to make 3 successful gambles to get up to the top. There was no reason to try, and you didn't want to be trying to gamble up the nudges because it would just open tomb on you, and you didn't want to be gambling up too many cash values because it would just open tomb you. So in essence, you was, from the start of play, all I would do on these was just try and get them, like, well, maybe a tenner, but certainly £15 nudge happy, and hopefully it would let you gamble out from there. So let's put a little bit of money in and get started, and we'll start off with 20 quid. I've got my per session stats up at the top here, so that's going to be 20 quid counting up, and I'll be £20 down. There's only one way that you would play these things, so you're going to go onto that mega, so normal game, super game, mega game. You want the mega game whereby all numbers are quadrupled, or no, multiplied by 8, isn't it? Yeah, and 50p a play. So the quickest way you can possibly do it, and just watch. Bearing in mind this is a £35 jackpot AWP, so you're going back, what, well over a decade or more that these were around. Just watch how quickly this can lash through your money when it wants to. Now, you think, oh, well, that's a good start. There you go. You're right up to the top already. But you would absolutely not nudge in that £1.60 win, because there's just no way you're getting up there. And what it's going to do is open tomb. Now, just to demonstrate this, all I would do there is collect the nudges and then manually just manually nudge to nothing, and just get rid of the 12 nudges and not take a win, because what it will love to, it may do it, it may not do, but what it will love to do is give me a open tomb. Pretty much, it usually does it the first chance it gets. There you are. Now that's it. I've got a collect prize now that I can't get away from. I'm probably going to lose a gamble fairly soon, I think. So let's have a look. So as soon as I lose a gamble, that's it. It's a £2 forced win, and it will do that, gambling up the nudge trail and gambling up the cash trail. And there are some fairly meaty ones in there. If you start getting onto the red values, it can force quite a chunk, even a fiver on horrible pub percentages, like 76%. If it forces a £5 win on you, you're going to be putting maybe 7-8 quid in to get the machine back to where it was. So I was never quite convinced about the whole, if it's redding up, you say, oh, that's quite a lot of red features there. But as you can see, it's a £3 win. Now, I will just do this 1 or 2 more times to demonstrate it, but what I suspect it's going to do here, well, I think it's blocking at a fiver there, so it didn't even give me the chance to gamble up. But certainly, it kind of will just give you, and we'll try it again on the nudge side. Try it again on the nudge side, just see if we can get a bonus, and what it'll probably do is go to open to... I'm almost surprised it didn't do it there, to be honest. Oh, that was lost. Let's have a look. I'll give it 1 more actual gamble climb, because I think I kind of learned the hard way on these dirty reds, that the only way to really play them was to go in as high up on the cash as you could, so you would get maximum nudges, which, as you've seen there, can give you like 2 quid, 3 quid, 4 quid. So what you want to do is just wait till it's doing 12 nudges, which is giving you 15 quid, and then just gambling it out as quickly as you possibly can. You want to give it the least opportunities possible to force that safe cash on you, which we absolutely don't want. So there we are. Let's have a look. It's actually in quite a bad mood, this, isn't it? So let's collect that £2 out and put it back in, and that will put us £20 down. So that was a fun 20 quid, wasn't it, on a pub AWP? Is it any wonder that people stopped playing these things? And this is the £35 jackpot here. I mean, I know player, there we are, open to straight away. And I know players love the £70 era, but... And yeah, I can understand why, because just about everything was doable by all accounts. But for the casuals, I think it was the rot set in with the £35. I mean, you could make a case for saying that the £25 era was not really compatible with amusement with prizes, but the £35 era, you had machines like this doing the rounds, and the £70 era absolutely destroyed, I think, the £70 AWP. For anyone, frankly, except players and addicts. So there we are. That was £8.50 just to get a spin of the reels. Look at that, nearly all readied up. I think either they changed their code by now because they knew that everyone just thought that, oh, if you see a load of red features, it's close, or this is just a dirty red and not all of the reds of this exact era would do it, and some of them would red up naturally and actually show out like the older ones did. And you can see there I've got and there we are. So I've not done too bad there in that it has only forced like a pound or a couple of pound on me, but you don't even want that when you're on the force. So we'll put that pound back in, and we are now that's £30 down. So let's put another tenner in. Remember, and you did find them like this sometimes. I was definitely not the only person around here forcing reds. Sometimes they'd be great. Sometimes you would get on. And what I'll just show you here is, so what I would do genuinely if I was playing this, I'm maxed out, I can't gamble for any more nudges, it's 4 quid, I'm never going to gamble to the top from there. So rather than press auto nudge, what I'm going to do here is just collect the nudges and nudge out, deliberately nudge nothing and just kill it off, and not give it the opportunity to give me that collect prize. But yeah, as I was saying, sometimes they were great. If nobody else was forcing them, if they had a bit of play, I mean, whatever casual play was left by then. Same rules apply, by the way, but we're just not even going to try and gamble up from that. We're just going to kill it off. Whatever casual play remained by then, sometimes you would find them and they'd just climb to the top, like literally first board or within a tenner or within 20 quid. If you found like a £70 Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, did happen. First climb, it'd go up and it'd do a 105, and you'd maybe get a follow-on board as well. They've always been like that. Reds have always been like that. It depends what kind of play they're getting, how many people are forcing them out. But I definitely had some competition around here for the reds. There was certainly the Indiana Jones that I had in a pub that was open all day, every day. I think that there was another guy on. I've always got it in my head that there was a guy who came to Ramsey in a car, because there were a couple of take it or leave it, the flickers, and there were two of them in town. Now, one of them was in a pub that was open all day every day, and another one that only opened up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And he got onto the one in the pub that was open all day quite early on. But the one that was in the pub that only opened at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I had that to myself for quite a lot longer. And that's kind of been sort of corroborated. One of the guys that I know around town. And so, yeah, there's this guy, he just drives in, he gets a Coke in the pub and then moves on to the next one. So I think there was a visiting player, and I had an Indiana Jones in that pub that was open all day, every day, and I think we were kind of tussling over it because there was more than one occasion that I came to it, and yeah, it had obviously just been forced out, and I was catching it after that. But once you're in, once you've started, that's it. You just finish the job. There was no real kind of concept of giving up on these things. I mean, if there were ways that you could tell that they were absolutely on their arse and not bothering with, or if there was a way to tell if they were on their way to be, I don't know. I just always just came up and forced them, and that was it. So while I've been yapping here, if you're just looking at my profit and loss, now that's 60 in. So we're going to go another tenner in now. We're now going to go £70 in. And all I'm waiting for is for these nudges to... There we are. Now then, this might... Okay. This might climb out. I've got to win 2 gambles now to get this. There we are. Opens... Sorry, I just had to clear my throat there. Is it going to let me? Oh, it might actually let me climb it out here. You possibly suppose... There we are. Okay, that's not actually too bad. Now, all I'm going to do here is wedge down. It can cost more than that. It really can. So I'm almost surprised it's let me go up for 70 quid there. But obviously, we are going to need a follow on board. But, I mean, you saw there how ruthlessly it took that 70 quid off me. Is it going to go on? Because if it goes on... No, it hasn't gone on. So at this moment... I'm basically £35 down. Look at it just whacking through those credits. It's absolutely brutal. Now, I'm not quite sure what you would do for the... Because, oh, God almighty. Now, how far... Oh, I'm going to cheat a little bit. No, the red 7's... Now, I don't know if you're supposed to. Because it will just carry on trying to use the open tomb. So I don't know if you're supposed to actually try and just climb it straight out again. So obviously I'm 30. If I just collect that, I'm 70 in it and 35 out. I'm 35 down. So what I would probably do at that point, I think, is go for a reforce. Now, I'm not sure if that would be the right thing to do. But you'd hope that... Maybe that'll be a tenner. That might be a tenner. No, it isn't. Let's see if we can get... Oh, God. So I think... Yeah, I'd probably go for that. I mean, look at that. Can you just see how fast it's going through the money? My God, that should be 12... No, 9 nudges, that one, isn't it? Okay, and what have we got? £7. Okay, we'll have a go from 7 quid. This was the thing with Reds you could get... They were so fast. They were so fast and so brutal. It was just so easy to get involved with them. Now, it's possible that the right thing to do here would be... actually to walk away, but if I were playing a real one of these, I think I'd probably be a bit narked at 70 in for 35 out, so I'd probably... I'd either hope that it'll climb out again, or that it'll just give me another £10-15 start, or I'd just go round again and see what it does, but it's possible that the right thing to do here was to collect, or rather just to walk at 35 down. Let's have a look. £5, that's a bit sketchy. I would fear that it's just going to use the open tomb on me here. Yeah, there we are. So, not quite sure I fancy my chances of climbing out from here either, but let's have a go. Ah, there we are. And that's a £2 forced win. Do just keep in mind here that this is a £35 jackpot amusement with prizes. This is an evolution of machines that were supposed to be small stakes, small prizes. You know, they're more entertainment than gambling. They're not really gambling. They're just a bit of fun where you've got a chance to win a few quid. You might lose a few quid. You know, they're not that bad. They're fairly tame. And that's why we can allow them in pubs and arcades, and you know, anyone can just walk in off the street and play them. I mean, I appreciate that by this era, of course, we had the separation where, you know, it's only over 18s who are supposed to be playing these, but obviously we've got the kiddie versions of these, the 10p £5 ones in the seaside arcades, other arcades, places like that, and the exact same machines that were available on the big boy jackpots can be found, of course, on the £5 jackpots, where anyone can play them, including, like 7-year-old children, because somebody thought that was a good idea. Now let's have a look. So I'm into reforce territory here, so I am just going to go round again and see what it does. Dangerous, but you would be hoping that on the second climb out we'll maybe get a 70. I mean, not necessarily off the repeater, but what it will like to do is just do a follow-on board where it'll climb out to 35 quid, and you would just collect the 35 quid. You wouldn't necessarily go for the top. I always used to like to start with a top, so because the top could go on, but once you'd had a top, I would then, if it let me climb out to £35, I wouldn't necessarily risk the gamble to the top feature at that point, because it can just kind of let you climb out to £35 more than once. Let's have a look. Golden hole, not interested really. We've got to be looking at 35 here. Come on. Can we get... Oh, no, we can't. Okay, but it's not... It is coming back to life a little bit, and this would be the hope that if you had like a flat top, as I did there, the hope would be that even if it didn't go back up again straight away, that there would be a little bit more life in it, and it would be closer to going up again. Holy shit, I thought it was going to... It can do. If you keep an eye on my credits, and this Meg... Was that... That was £10. It spanned the reels once, and it didn't give me a single number, so I didn't get a single... Did you see how quick it just went through that tenner? It's absolutely ferocious. It really is. And if you look at my profit loss up at the top there, this is where you'd be getting, if you were playing one of these for real and it was doing this is where you'd be starting to get a little bit sweaty. You know you're taking a loss. You know that really that you're not walking away from this with a profit. We're purely into, quite frankly, a damage limitation exercise at this point. And sometimes, in my experience, look at that, 3 quid off 12 nudges. Sometimes, in my experience, that's what Reds were. You were just trying to get away with the smallest loss possible. You knew that you were not making money from that machine on that particular occasion. But this is just... So my hope now would be that it's actually saving up for a little bit of a decent... There we are, a little bit of a decent kickback, so I've got to win 2 gambles now to get to the top. I am currently £105 down. Come on, climb out. There we are, so we've got a top. We have got a top, so obviously it's 35. I'm just going to wedge down the start button. Oh, my throat's getting a bit dry, so that's a little... Oh, there we are, so there's 35, and a little gurgle of wine, sorry. Ah, that's better. And it's gone on, okay, so we've got 70. We have got 70, so that's something at least. Remember, I mean, the reason that I would have gone on this for real was that I was £35 down. Remember when I got that first top, it went flat, I was £35 down. My goal here on going round again would be almost to reduce that loss, not even necessarily to win more, or rather to get into profit, but to reduce that loss of £35. So now that's not where I'm going to be. Will we get... Sometimes it can just do another climb out to like... What's that going to be? Shit. Oh, you know, I possibly should have gambled the nudges there. I may have been a little bit hasty there in auto nudging, but that's all. So, I mean, obviously if it climbs out to 35 here... Oh, shit, I had a true skill bonus there. I mean, I think that's actually not a bad sign. I was far too fast there. And you know what? I may have just stuffed myself there. I did have... If you just saw the cancel button flashed momentarily, so that meant I had a true skill bonus, and I didn't take it. So, at this stage, I think this is going to climb out again. I'm going to be 45 down now. So, I've not done very well on my mission of reducing that £35 loss. Once this is all collected out, and the meters have caught up. I am going to be 45 quid down, so that is obviously not an improvement on 35 quid down. So I'm going to collect this out, we'll put a fiver in, so at that point I'm going to be 50 quid down. And this is doing it's kind of doing what I wanted to do on this video, which is demonstrate that it's not all back-to-back 105s on these reds. Sometimes you could have a really bruising encounter on them. And do bear in mind here, sorry, I should have mentioned earlier, this is on a very generous 88%. It makes sense in the emulator because you get a better gain. But out in the wild, good luck on finding a fruit machine set to 88%. In the pubs, these are around 76, maybe 78, maybe as low as 74. So we are being a little bit flattered here by the percentage as well, which is is that going to be 25? Which will be a better percentage than you would ever find it on in the pub. Come on, 25 quid. I have no idea. Oh, bollocks. Oh, is it probably just like straight? Yeah, okay, it's just straight off the. I don't know the reels on these. I don't know. Did you need to know the reels on these? I don't know. I never did. So remember, I'm going further. I'm going deeper into negative territory here, and it's oh, come on! It just looked like it had possibly had a little bit of life in it. It's miles away. Well. Oh god, I was thinking maybe get 2 nudges and see if it holds after nudges. Not it's very likely, but I guess it could happen. Okay, I'm getting into Desperateville here, aren't I? Well, I think oh god almighty, come on. One last climb. Oh. How far away is it? Oh, it's miles away! Oh. I mean, we're never gonna get... Yeah, okay. I mean, what are the chances? I mean, God, I'm not even sure. Could these do holds after nudges on those? I'm sure they could. All fruit machines can do that, but a little bit of a no. I mean, oh, okay. It's all well. It's not likely, but yeah, I'm not fancying my chances on one. Oh, come on. Oh, super bonus, right? Okay. Oh, one. Oh, come on. It was out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 6 nudges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a super bonus, and somehow it still managed to avoid giving me the 2 nudges that I needed for 15 quid. I mean, this machine moves. Christ, this machine moves so fast. You see, the meters up at the top are still trying to catch up. It's absolutely... There are bonkers, these things. They're absolutely bonkers. They really are. Crazy machines. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, I know players liked them. I liked them. I liked Reds. They were a fairly brutal experience, but a very much a no-nonsense experience. But you can understand how, anyone who wasn't, forcing these things out or kind of knew what they were doing was going to have a fairly hard time with them. And there we are, of course, 2 open, so oh Christ. So this has gone all kinds of wrong. Would I even... I don't think I'd go round again now. I'd almost be at just licking my wounds and walking away. So, I mean, my best position on this, if you remember, was 35 down. After the first force for that top, I was 35 down, went round again. I could have got out. Oh, any chance. Oh no, it's just down. Yeah, I'm actually learning these reels now. So, and then I went round again, and I could have been 45 down. Well, that's handy, isn't it? It's only got 1 more to go. And that was as good as it got. 35 down, went round again, 45 down, and now I am just in an absolute world of pain. Oh, God. Would I even... I mean, I'd like to say I wouldn't have gone round again, but I'm quite badly down at this point now. Look at that. Well, that's going to be... Is that any chance for 15, maybe? Yes, right, okay, come on. So I'm 75 down, so if I can just such a waste of a bone. I'm not even fancying this one. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'd gamble this. I'd gamble this. Ah! It's just forceful going on me instead. That could have got me to... Yo, that was possibly the wrong thing to do. You see there, 75. Had I collected that 25, I'd have... Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm a little bit tickling the throat. I think it's going to climb out again. Come on. Don't open the tomb, for God's sake. Come on. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Oh. Okay, you know, obviously I am at this point going to force it out again. You're never not going to force it out again at this point. Or I would anyway. Like I say, as ever with all of these videos, I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do. I'm sure a better player than me would have made better decisions than me. But I have to be honest, I had a weak spot for these reds of getting quite involved with them. There was something about the playstyle, something about... And they often had very good sound design as well. Reds were... Look at that, just so shit. Reds were fearsomely good at sound design. I would kind of implore you to go through the stable of Reds that have been released for MFME V5 onwards, because Reds were not previously emulated prior to November 2016, because they really are the masters of the soundtrack. They've done such good soundtracks on so many of their machines. Not that you could usually hear them in the pub anyway, but I mean that's all the more reason to play them in the emulator. God, this is this was supposed to be a fairly quick video, but somehow it's ended up. No, I'm not interested in that. Right, I'm going to take out one more top and see if maybe we can just get a 70 out of it, something like that. I am absolutely in. Let's just get out of here with whatever I can mode at the moment. Oh, that's awful. Come on. Don't open. You know what I mean? You can see here with this open tomb. And so as soon as I die now, I'm at the mercy of this collect prize. There we are, and that's a forced £3 win. We'll collect that out. 1, 2, 3, fantastic. Yes, cheers. Okay, we'll give it one more climb out, and then whatever happens after the next climb, if it's a flat 35 and it goes dead, I'm just gonna have to walk. If you're watching this and you're seeing terrible mistakes that I'm making or things that I'm missing, by all means leave a comment. I'm just kind of showing how I was a dumb forcer on Reds, really. Didn't know much beyond that. £10, okay. And yeah, I got involved with them possibly when I shouldn't have done. Can you see how utterly useless the bonuses are? If it's not giving you open tomb, it's giving you the extra, what is that, a scarab or something. Really is. It's almost like a non-bonus. It's almost like a negative. It's, you know, applying the word bonus to what this thing does is something of a misnomer, really, because it isn't a bonus that I particularly recognise, okay? This is just desperate. God, that was just awful. Can you see it rattling through this money here? Ah. I am in a world of pain here. I am in an absolute world of pain. This was a real machine, I would be tearing my hair out. You know when you start to get a little bit clammy and a little a little bit, oh my God, what am I doing here? This is bad. And have a nervous pull at your drink thinking, oh God, how much is this for? What am I going to get out of here with? And this is turning into one of them. Like I say, this machine's had nothing dodgy done to it. I've just gone round and forced it a few times. And this is the state that it's kind of got itself into naturally. And this is on, I'm going to stress this again, forgive me for my repeating myself, this is on an 88% payout. This is fully 10% higher payout than you would... Frankly, you'd ever find this machine in the wild, and then some 74, 76 would be a little bit more like it. So, This is not even. This is kinder than the real one would be, if you can believe it. This is probably being kinder than the real one would be. Oh my god! I'm 110 down. I am £110 down on this thing now. Good god. £3. You start getting desperate now, just gambling for it. Don't open the tomb. Change number. Wow, actually, a bonus that is all. And it's probably not going to make any difference, that thing. I'm going to get 12 nudges, and it'll still be bloody £3. And it doesn't have, you know, some of the, like, I think, Legal Tender and Invincible, they had 99 nudges at the top of the nudge trail, but whereas these, and the one next to it, Top Geezer there, topped out at 12 nudges, so filling up the nudge trail, and because there's only one of several of the symbols on the reels, you can have loads of nudges, and you can easily, as you can see here, you can easily max out the nudges and still only have, is that still going to be £3? And is it going to... Oh, okay. Let's... tenner. Let's see if we can climb out a tenner. Oh, I actually collected that manually by accident. I have to be careful of that. I don't want you mixed bars. There we are. Just about got to a tenner. Come on. 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 Should I even... Oh, I've got to do it. Fuck! Oh god, maybe I should have just collected the 35. Oh dear. I just needed a big top. I needed a big top there. Okay, you know what though? The thing is, once they get to that point, this should now. It should now climb out again, and oh by crikey, I need some kick. Oh, you vicious bastard. Okay, I need some kickback on this. I really do. Look at this. I was just about to say it should come back fairly quick, but the evidence would suggest otherwise there. Oh my goodness me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you amusement with prizes. Are we having fun yet? Oh my goodness me. And we, you know, I mean, God, if anyone's wondering why nobody plays these things anymore, I mean, here's the answer right here. How far away is the... I think the red 7's... Yeah, okay, let's... Bit optimistic to go up from a 5er, but we'll have a go. Okay, is this going to happen? You'd think now, I was at 35. Just climb out, will you? Don't open the tomb. What it loves to do is open the tomb and then lose the very next gamble. Just like that as well. God. You know what, that 35 at this point is looking quite good. Maybe you're not actually supposed to force it out for the top. Maybe if you get to 35, you're just supposed to collect it. The logic being that, you know what, if it wants to climb out again, it will. That would make sense. Genuinely, I don't know. God, how long ago was it that I had that 35 quid? And now it's done this. You'd think it would climb back out, wouldn't you? Holy moly, this is... Oh, this is desperate. This is absolutely desperate. I'm getting a little bit upset about this, and this is pretend money in an emulator. It's kind of bringing like cold sweats and cold shivers, remembering, you know, the bad old days when real, not particularly these, but going right back to the really bad addiction days when fruit machines would do this kind of thing to me. Oh my god. Okay, we're just going to collect that. We're not going to nudge in. I can't believe it's not going back to £15 and £25 nudging. This is really harsh. You can see the numbers up at the top there. Can you... How can you lose this much money this quickly on a £35 jackpot fruit machine set to 88%? The mind boggles, it really does. And that 35 has just not come back at all, has it? I was genuinely expecting that to come. Holy shit. Are you watching these credits go down here? Can you see the speed with which it's doing this? Good God. There we are. Oh. Okay, well, it's going to be one more climb, see what it does, and then... You know what? You think, you know what? That £35 down is looking very good right now, because this has just gone rabid. It's gone absolutely wrong. Look at that, nearly all red. Ah! Oh, I mean, if you can turn them all red, you get. But I don't think there's actually any way to. I don't think there's actually any way to turn the features red on this, is there? So if you turn them all red, it's then it automatically goes up to the top. But I can't see any way to do this on this. Oh god. Okay, god, this is preposterous now. This is actually getting into the realms of the slightly bizarre. Holy crap. Okay, give it another fiver. The stats up at the top there speak for themselves. And there's surely got to be a kickback here. There's surely got to be a momentous kickback. What are we, 175 down? We're now 180. £180 into this. Or rather, £180 loss. We're over 300 quid in. I mean, how do you put this much money through a bloody pub fruit machine this quickly? It's insane. Right. Surely you wouldn't dare. Surely you wouldn't dare kill me on this. Well, I'm kind of needing a 105 here, aren't I? Otherwise, this is going to be all kinds of horrible. It's got to go on. Surely it's got to go on. I'm 180 down on it. Right, so we're going to get a 4 quid win now. 4 quid going. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, it's got to climb out again. It's got to climb out again. There's no way it cannot climb out again. Let's collect that out. So that's going to put me 145 down. But this has to have another climb in it. I can't imagine it not having another climb in it now, because this is desperate. This is just awful. So let's have another go here. I mean, there's no way. Let's have okay. Well, in typical red fashion, we can collect that and it'll go straight to 25 quid. Or a pound, one of the two. So somewhere between 25 quid and a pound. Oh god. Okay, we'll give it one more decent nudge entry like that and see what it's going to do. Come on, is that 15 quid? Yeah, that's 15 quid. I will collect 35 here. I'm not going to try and go for the top again. And as ever, the most useless bonuses in the world. I will collect 35. God, this is quite something. I was hoping that this video was going to demonstrate, the evil side of Reds. I wasn't quite expecting it to do it as emphatically as this. My goodness me! So I've got a collect prize. So let's just see if we can get up there. Problem is, the more you gamble, the bigger you risk it getting, because as you can see, it starts to open up some fairly big values at that point. So let's have a look. So can we just? I'm a little bit of a loss here. I was expecting this to be a bruising encounter, but I wasn't expecting this. I've got to be honest. That's going to be 25 surely. He said, not knowing that's 25. Yeah, okay. I'd almost want another top here, Once again, the bonus comes through. Well, you know what? I'm not, unless it gives me a change number or something. It wouldn't dare, surely. There we are. Okay, let's have a big top here. Let's have a big top. We don't want a flat 35 here. We need to get a big top here. I mean, the stats for this session are going to be awful. There's no way of pulling this back. I mean, damage limitation doesn't even begin to cover it now, does it? This is just... It's avoiding an apocalypse is all we're at now. So will this go on? Can we get... So there's our 35. Yeah. This is bruising. This is a bruising encounter. Okay, we'll collect that 35 out. I'll give it another climb, because you've got to give it another climb to see what it's doing, but we're kind of in a pretty rough spot now, aren't we, really? There's not much good that can be said about this. And I look at the length on this video. This was supposed to be like a 15-minute job. And somehow it's ended up... I've got a little bit... Well, I say a little bit. I've got far more involved with this than I intended to be. It's possible it's still got something in it, but I may just have to wrap this one up really for length purposes. And incidentally, you can kind of see here, by the way, that to my mind, not a lot changed with reds between the £35 and the £70 era, because and you can see there's a crossover because some of the 70s are capped at 105, and even though this can do a flat 35, you can see really that profile wise this is kind of a £70 jackpot really. I don't think reds really, I think they locked in the profile in the £35 era, and it kind of just carried on into the £70 era, and in a lot of ways they were kind of the same machines. So what's our chances here? I'm just fed up. It would be interesting to do a count on how many times it's actually used that open 2 on me. Do we want to risk a top? I'm not even sure. That was a bit silly, but okay, let's just see if we can get one of these to go past. Give it one more. Come on, go on to 70. I could do with a 105. I think these could do a 105. 35s I think were capped at 105, and some of the 70s were capped at 105 as well. I mean that would, well, it wouldn't. There we are. There's a 70. A 105 here would get me out of here, not with my dignity intact, but at least with a chunk of coins. You know, I'd live to fight the next pub. You know what I mean? I'd have enough money about me, enough coins about me to have a go at the next pub. Can we get a 105 here? Surely there's got to be a kickback. So that's the, there we are. So we've got to go on now. No. 70. Okay, has it got another climb in it? One more climb maybe. What's that going to be? 15. Okay, I will definitely collect 35 here. If I can get 35, I will definitely collect it. Come on. Don't open the 2. Change number. Extra life. You'd have... Yes, come on. We're going to collect 35. We're not... Oh, well, I've got an extra life. Oh, there we are. Okay. Finally. So that's effectively a 105, isn't it? I mean, I don't know why I just didn't do it all on the single thing. So, okay, you know what? I might actually get out of here. Not in too much of a bad spot. Oh my God, what a trauma. Okay, let's have a look. So that's going to go into 105. Could it do another 70? Oh, it's auto collecting. So we've gone over the bank limit. I mean, that would be great if we could get, if it could go on again and do another 70. Let's have a look. Let's see what it does. Either way, I've actually reduced it. What was I, 180 down or something not that long ago? Oh, no. Unlucky. And now then, what we've got to say is, do we want to risk out another climb or not, because it could just take so long. Let's have a look. What we'll do, I'm going to collect that out and see what the stats are. So I think I'm going to be about 50 quid down, but it's going to take the meters a little while to settle down. So what I will do, I'm going to collect that bank out, I'm going to have a large glug of wine, and then we'll see what the meters settle down to. Well, amazingly, can you see up there? That's got me back to £40 down. I know that doesn't sound very good, but what was I, 180 down? Just what, 10 minutes ago? Or even 7 or 8 minutes ago? The variance, the swings on these things are immense. Now, I've got to be honest, in the wild, I'd walk at this point. I've basically gone from 35 down, then to 45 down, then into an absolute pit of despair, and pulled it back to 40 down. I would walk away from this feeling like I had won, even though I was £40 down. So that's the figure I'll take on this. I'm 40 down, just for the purposes of this video. I'll put another fiver in, and it's actually gone back to the normal. We'll put another fiver in, and we'll just go for the next climb basically, and see if just see what it's got in it. We'll see if it was the right choice of see if it was actually the right decision there to walk at 40 down. Can't imagine it letting me get very far here, but we'll give it a go nonetheless. It hasn't open-tombed me, at least. If he wants to kill me, yeah, that's not good. Think there is your basic block on this, I believe, is a £5, and it looks like we're back to that £5 block. But my decision in the wild there would have been to walk at that £40 down. So it's not a win, but sometimes I don't know. This is my take. When Reds went wrong, sometimes you almost felt like you'd won when you lost, just because they kind of took your pants down, and somehow through doing that, through crazy shenanigans like that, you could still walk away with some vague semblance of dignity. This is blocking at a £5 now, so there we go. We'll leave it there. That's that. So I do apologise. This video is now going on for more than 50 minutes. I had it in my head this was going to be a 15-20 minute job. I just got far too involved there. So if you've stuck with me this far, thank you very much. I think it did demonstrate, though. It demonstrated the madness of these machines. These Reds there, I mean, even on the 25. In fact, they've always been like this, Reds, really. Even back on the £15 days when they started out, they have always been absolutely bonkers. But in the £35 and £70 era, they properly took it to the next level, and they went absolutely crackers. These were just hardcore gambling machines, really. There's no even on, and I've played sometimes when I've been in airports and they've got like £5 Reds in like the public areas. 10p £5. These things can just go rabid on you and munch through more cash than you would think was possible for a 10p £5 jackpot machine. Amplify that up to the big boys, so 50p £35, £1 £70. Not that I think there's fundamentally much difference between those two under the bonnet, to be honest. The 50p £35 and the £1 £70. I think they're kind of the same thing under the bonnet if you look at the workings of them. But you can see they're utterly crazy machines, and I would have been on a real one of these, I would have been really quite relieved there to have walked away 40 down after getting so far in, and I would have had enough coins about me to go on to the next pub and hopefully play a little less stupidly. So that is Reds when they go bonkers on you. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Next video up on the channel should be Fruit Machine Emulation History Part 2. But if you stuck with me through this whole madness opus here, thank you very much, and I will see you next time.